Most people believe brushing and flossing are enough to protect aging teeth. That belief feels logical, but it is not true. If these simple habits alone were enough, nearly 7 out of 10 adults over the age of 65 would not still struggle with gum disease. They would not face plaque that hardens no matter how carefully they clean. They would not see stains that deepen each year despite avoiding coffee or tea. And yet, this is the reality for millions. The reason is simple, but often overlooked. Oral health after 60 is no longer just about cleaning the surface. It is about circulation, saliva, and digestion. It is about the way the body's rhythms slow down with age, and how those changes quietly alter the environment inside the mouth. When blood flow weakens, tissues repair themselves more slowly. When saliva dries up, natural defenses fade. And when digestion becomes strained, acids and imbalances rise up into the mouth, weakening enamel and inflaming the gums. This is why brushing harder or rinsing more aggressively often makes matters worse. The mouth is not a battlefield, it is an ecosystem. And when that ecosystem falls out of balance, bacteria flourish, tissues weaken, and teeth begin to fail. For many older adults, this decline feels inevitable. But inevitability is a myth. The body created these changes, and the body also holds the power to repair them. The solution lies not in harsher chemicals, but in restoring balance and allowing the mouth to heal itself. And this is where hope enters the picture. I have spent over a century studying the way food and daily habits shape health. I have watched patients grow from youth to old age, and I have seen how small, steady practices can preserve strength well beyond expectation. Even in the later decades of life, a strong mouth, a clear memory, and steady independence remain within reach. The secret is not expensive treatments, it is wisdom practiced consistently. So let me ask you something. Have you noticed your gums bleeding when you brush, or a film on your teeth that never seems to go away? Have you looked in the mirror and felt discouraged by stains that deepen no matter what products you use? If you have, you are not alone. Many live with these problems quietly, believing they are a normal part of aging, but they are not. They are signals of imbalance. And once you understand that, you will never look at your toothbrush the same way again. In the time we share today, I will explain why plaque and stains appear even in those who are diligent with their care, and why gum disease spreads even in those who follow every instruction. More importantly, I will show you 3 natural approaches still used in Japan today that restore the mouth without chemicals, without harsh rinses, and without endless scraping. Stay with me, because this is not a conversation about cosmetics. It is a conversation about memory, circulation, independence, and life itself. The 3 silent causes of oral decline after 60. When most people think about dental problems after 60, they imagine they come from laziness, poor hygiene, or simply bad luck with age. But the reality I have seen over a century is that decline comes quietly, even to those who brush and floss every single day. It does not come from neglect, but from small, well-meaning habits that slowly weaken the mouth without anyone realizing. The first and most overlooked cause is the daily use of harsh, alcohol-based mouthwashes. For decades, these rinses have been sold as a cure for bad breath and bacteria. Yet what few people realize is that they destroy the very protective bacteria the mouth depends on. In Japan, we think of the mouth not as a battlefield, but as a garden. When a mouthwash kills everything in sight, it does not leave health behind. It leaves emptiness. Harmful bacteria return quickly, but the protective ones that build balance do not recover as easily. I have watched many patients come in confused. They rinse 2 or 3 times a day, and yet their gums still swell, their tongues remain dry, and their breath worsens. The reason is clear. They have stripped their mouth of its defenders. Without that microbial balance, acids rise, tissues weaken, and the gums become vulnerable. Over time, this creates the perfect soil for plaque and inflammation to grow. The second cause is something I see even more often. Many older adults believe that the harder they brush, the cleaner their teeth will be. They press down with stiff bristles, thinking they are polishing away stains and plaque. But enamel is not stone. It is alive. It thins with age, becoming more fragile. When brushing is too forceful, the enamel wears down, gums recede, and the roots of the teeth become exposed. What began as dedication ends as damage. I still remember one patient in their 70s who came to me heartbroken. They had brushed after every meal for decades, never missing a single day. Yet their teeth had become painfully sensitive, their gums had pulled back, and 2 teeth had loosened. They did not fail because of neglect. They failed because no one ever explained that gentleness protects more than force. This is the quiet tragedy of overbrushing. The third silent cause is one many never even think about: dry mouth. As we age, saliva production naturally declines, Add in common medications for blood pressure, allergies or sleep, and the flow can slow even further. Saliva is far more than moisture. It is the mouth's first immune defense, rich in enzymes, minerals, and antimicrobial compounds. When the mouth is dry, acids linger longer, bacteria spread faster, and tissues heal more slowly. A dry mouth is not just uncomfortable, it is dangerous. In Japan, saliva is sometimes called the forgotten immune organ. Yet most patients are never told this. They believe a parched mouth is just another inconvenience of age. But what begins as dryness often leads to plaque that clings harder, gums that swell, and infections that take root. And once this cycle begins, no toothbrush alone can stop it. Have you ever thought you were doing the right thing only to discover it made matters worse? Perhaps you rinsed faithfully, brushed harder, or ignored a dry mouth because no one told you it mattered. If so, I would love to hear your story in the comments. Sharing it may help someone else recognize the same pattern before it is too late. When you put these three causes together, harsh rinses, overbrushing, and chronic dryness, the result is a silent storm. Many seniors are caught in it right now, following advice they believe to be correct while the very structure of their teeth is breaking down. They are not failing. They are being failed by the guidance they received. What makes this so urgent is that oral decline rarely stays in the mouth. Inflammation does not remain local. Once tissues are weakened, bacteria enter the bloodstream, affecting the heart, the brain, and even memory itself. This is why ignoring these causes is so dangerous. What begins as bleeding gums can become something far more serious. And yet, there is hope. These problems are not the end of the story. They are simply signals, pointing us toward change. Once the silent causes are understood, they can be replaced with gentler, wiser practices. It does not take expensive products. It takes awareness and rhythm. That is what we will explore next. So stay with me, because now that you know the three silent causes, the next step is to discover the natural solutions that can protect your mouth without destroying its balance. These remedies are simple, ancient, and proven through time, and they may change the way you think about oral health forever. 3 natural solutions still practiced in Japan. Now that we have uncovered the 3 silent causes of oral decline after 60, let us turn to the part of this story that brings hope. Because while the damage may feel inevitable, I can assure you it is not. In Japanese clinics and homes, simple, natural remedies have been used for centuries to restore balance to the mouth. They are not harsh, they are not chemical, and yet they have stood the test of time. The first is oil pulling, an ancient practice that has quietly regained attention in modern research. The idea is simple. A spoonful of warm sesame or coconut oil is swished gently in the mouth for 5 to 10 minutes before brushing. The act stimulates saliva flow, helps loosen plaque, and creates an environment where good bacteria thrive. In Japan, I have seen patients with bleeding gums experience relief in just 2 weeks, not from scrubbing but from this quiet daily ritual. Oil pulling is not about washing the mouth sterile. It is about restoring equilibrium. The oil traps toxins, reduces harmful bacteria, and leaves the protective bacteria untouched. When practiced regularly, it not only improves gum health but also freshens breath and reduces the fuzzy film that so many older adults find discouraging. I recall one patient who was skeptical. This person had tried mouthwashes, whitening pastes, and even dental procedures, yet the gums remained sore. After just 3 weeks of oil pulling, the inflammation softened, the gums stopped bleeding, and their confidence returned. The beauty of this practice lies in its gentleness. It does not fight the mouth, it supports it. The second remedy is turmeric paste. Turmeric, long celebrated in Asian medicine, contains curcumin, a compound known to calm inflammation and fight bacteria. When mixed with a little salt and coconut oil, it becomes a natural polish. It does not strip enamel or burn tissue like commercial whitening products. Instead, it soothes the gums while gently lifting stains. I have personally recommended this to older adults who could not tolerate chemical whiteners. Over time, their teeth regained a natural brightness, but more importantly, their gums became less swollen and more resilient. This is a key distinction. True oral health is not about chasing a perfect shade of white. It is about creating an environment where tissues repair and balance is restored. Turmeric paste provides both. Many people assume that whitening must sting, peel, or come with discomfort. That is a modern myth. In truth, a gentle turmeric paste brightens not by abrasion, but by nourishing. And this approach aligns with everything I have learned over decades. Healing must never come from force. It must come from support. The third remedy is aloe vera, not in flavored gels or bottled drinks filled with sugar, but in its raw natural form. The inner pulp of the aloe leaf has powerful cooling and healing properties. Applied directly to the gums, it reduces swelling, calms soreness, and helps repair small tears caused by brushing or dentures. Aloe vera is remarkable because it is so accessible. Many people grow it at home in pots. It does not require a prescription. It has been used for centuries, not only for the skin but also for the tissues inside the mouth. And unlike synthetic gels, it works with the body's connective tissues, helping them rebuild strength from within. When I reflect on these three remedies together, oil pulling, turmeric paste, and raw aloe, I see not just treatments but philosophies. Each of them is gentle. Each of them restores balance. None of them rely on sterilization or chemicals. This is the essence of Japanese oral health. Protection through nourishment, not through destruction. And perhaps the most important lesson here is that these habits do not work only on the mouth. When plaque softens, when gums calm, when tissues heal, inflammation throughout the body declines. Patients often report not just a healthier smile, but clearer thinking, lighter digestion, and steadier energy, because the mouth is never separate from the rest of the body. Now let me pause and ask you this. Have you ever tried any of these remedies? Oil pulling, turmeric paste, or aloe vera? What was your experience? Did it surprise you, or did you give up too soon because no one explained how to do it properly? I would love to hear your story in the comments. Your voice matters, and others may find encouragement in what you share. The truth is, many dismiss these remedies because they seem too simple. Yet I have witnessed their power again and again, not just in research but in lived lives. They are not quick fixes, but when practiced consistently, they bring results that chemicals cannot. This is why I urge you to approach them with patience. Commit to them as daily rhythms rather than occasional experiments. In time you will see what generations in Japan have known all along. Nature provides the tools to keep the mouth not just clean, but truly alive. We have now uncovered the 3 natural solutions that restore oral health after 60. But our journey is not finished, because the mouth is not only shaped by what we apply to it, it is shaped every morning by what we choose to eat and drink, and that choice, often made without a second thought, may be the single most important factor of all. Stay with me as we turn to food, and you may never look at breakfast the same way again. The role of food and morning habits. So far we have explored the hidden causes of oral decline and the natural remedies that can restore balance, but there is another factor, one that touches every person daily, and it begins the moment we wake up. Oral health is not only shaped by how we brush or rinse, it is shaped by what we choose to eat and drink first thing in the morning. For many, breakfast feels like a small decision, but in truth it sets the chemistry of the mouth and body for the entire day. A common routine in much of the world is toast with orange juice, or fruit with coffee, or even a glass of lemon water before eating anything else. These choices sound healthy, they feel light and refreshing, yet for older adults they often create an acidic surge that the mouth can no longer buffer the way it once did. When acid softens enamel, bacteria find a foothold, plaque becomes more difficult to brush away, and stains set deeper into the tooth surface. Over years, this cycle creates teeth that are not only weaker, but also more prone to inflammation at the gum line. Most people never realize that what felt like a harmless breakfast was quietly working against them. I remember one patient who began every day with fruit salad and coffee. It seemed wholesome, but by the time this person reached 70, enamel had thinned so much that even warm tea caused pain. It was not neglect, it was chemistry. The combination of fruit acids and coffee left the teeth vulnerable at the very start of the day. In contrast, traditional Japanese mornings often begin with something very different. A glass of warm water upon waking, sometimes followed by fermented vegetables or a bowl of miso soup. These foods are not acidic but balanced. They calm the stomach, support the oral microbiome, and prepare the body for the day ahead. They introduce beneficial bacteria immediately, creating harmony before the first toothbrush is even lifted. This difference may sound small, but I have seen the effects repeatedly. Patients who shift their breakfast from sharp acidic choices to soothing balanced foods often notice improvements not only in their teeth, but in their digestion, their focus, and even their energy throughout the day. It is because the mouth is not separate from the body. Every bite sets a rhythm that flows from the mouth into circulation, into memory, into the very cells of the body. One of the most misunderstood fluids in this story is saliva. Too often dismissed as a nuisance, saliva is in truth one of the body's most protective forces. It buffers acids, washes away food particles, and delivers minerals to strengthen enamel. When saliva production declines, whether from medication or age, acid has more time to weaken the mouth. The foods we choose in the morning either worsen this problem or support saliva in doing its work. This is why a warm bowl of miso soup with fermented vegetables is so protective. It stimulates saliva flow, introduces probiotics, and restores mineral balance. Compare this with orange juice, which overwhelms saliva with acid and sugar. Over time, one routine preserves resilience while the other erodes it. Only about 10% of our viewers are subscribed. If you have found this conversation helpful so far, consider pressing that button. It allows us to continue bringing these health lessons forward and to reach more people who need them. Your support matters more than you may realize. Now let us return to the science of food and the mouth. Studies show that an acidic breakfast does not only affect enamel, it also alters the bacteria living in the mouth. Harmful strains thrive in an acidic environment, while beneficial ones struggle. This imbalance is then carried through the digestive tract, where it can affect gut health, immunity, and even mood. That is why I often say, the state of your mouth in the morning is the state of your body for the day. Begin acidic, and the body spends its hours fighting imbalance. Begin balanced, and the body spends its hours building strength. This difference compounds over time, making the gap between resilience and decline much wider than most realize. It may sound surprising, but I have witnessed patients improve memory and focus simply by changing their first meal. When inflammation begins in the gums, signals travel through the bloodstream and into the brain. By calming that inflammation with a gentle breakfast, the fog many associate with aging often lifts. Oral health is not separate from mental clarity. They are bound together. Another lesson worth sharing is about water. Too many begin their day dehydrated. A sip of warm water upon waking does more than quench thirst. It thins saliva, making it more effective, and it prepares the body to buffer any acids that come later. I often tell patients, before you touch juice or coffee, let your first act be water. It is one of the simplest habits, yet it can transform the way the mouth begins its day. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, what is the first thing you eat or drink each morning? Have you noticed whether your gums feel swollen or your teeth sensitive afterward? Share your experience in the comments. You may be surprised to find how many others have followed the same path without ever realizing the connection. So the message is clear. Oral health does not begin in the bathroom. It begins in the kitchen. It begins at the breakfast table. The choices made there ripple into enamel, gums, memory, circulation, and beyond. To care for the mouth is to care for the body, and to care for the body is to protect the mouth. This cycle is never separate. It is always one. Now that we understand the influence of food and morning habits, it is time to look at another hidden message the mouth reveals. Stains. Stains are not only cosmetic flaws, they are signs, clues about what is happening inside the body, and learning to read them may be one of the most powerful skills for protecting health as we age. Stains as warning signs, not cosmetic flaws. Many people look in the mirror, see stains on their teeth, and immediately feel embarrassment. The first thought is often appearance, the worry of what others might see. But in truth, stains are not cosmetic flaws. They are messages. They are signals from the body that something within is asking for attention. One of the most common patterns I have seen is yellowing near the gum line. Many dismiss it as the result of tea, coffee, or tobacco. While those can contribute, persistent yellow at the gum line often points to bile imbalance or strain on the liver. When the body struggles to process fats and toxins, pigments can travel through saliva and settle at the base of the teeth. It is not just a matter of brushing harder. It is a clue to digestion. Another form of staining appears as a dull gray film across the surface of teeth. This is often linked to dehydration or the side effects of medication. As saliva flow slows, minerals no longer coat the enamel properly. Instead of a natural sheen, the teeth take on a lifeless cast. It is not poor hygiene. It is chemistry. The body is speaking through the mouth. Brown or black stains, especially between the teeth, are another pattern with deeper meaning. While they may result from coffee or tea, they are often associated with iron imbalance or long-term acid reflux. The stomach and mouth are intimately connected, and when acids repeatedly rise, they etch dark shadows into the enamel. These stains are not only reminders of reflux, they are warnings of inflammation that could spread far beyond the mouth. What I want to emphasize is this: stains are not failures. They are information. They allow us to see what is happening inside the body before symptoms grow worse. In my years of practice, I have taught patients to view their reflection not as a judgment, but as guidance. When you learn to read stains, you gain an early window into health. I remember one person who spent thousands on whitening treatments, each time feeling a burst of confidence, only for the stains to return within weeks. What was missed was the true cause. The liver was under strain, digestion was sluggish, and acids were rising at night. Once these were addressed through diet and rhythm, the stains faded naturally and did not return. The smile brightened not from chemicals, but from healing. This is why I encourage you to pause before reaching for whitening strips or harsh pastes. Ask instead, what is my body trying to say through this color? Am I drinking enough water? Am I overusing acidic foods? Is my digestion balanced? These questions open the door to solutions that not only brighten teeth, but strengthen health as a whole. Stains also remind us of the power of circulation. Teeth that are consistently discolored often point to sluggish blood flow, where nutrients are not reaching tissues as they should. Improving circulation through movement, hydration, and balanced meals often does more for a stained smile than any bleaching treatment ever could. In Japan, stains are sometimes described as shadows of imbalance. When the imbalance lifts, the shadow fades. It is a gentler way to see what many have been taught to view with shame. A shadow is not permanent. It can be dissolved with light. Tell us in the comments, have you noticed certain stains or discoloration on your teeth? Did you ever think of them as connected to your health, or did you believe they were only cosmetic? Sharing your experience might open the eyes of someone who has been worrying in silence. What is most reassuring is that stains can and do fade naturally when the body is supported, when saliva flows well, when digestion is calm, when circulation is strong. The mouth reflects that balance. Teeth regain their natural luster, gums regain their natural tone, and the mirror no longer feels like an enemy. I have witnessed this countless times. A patient shifts from acidic breakfasts to soothing ones, begins oil pulling, hydrates more consistently, and within months the stains that seem permanent begin to soften. The body is not fixed in decline, it is capable of renewal at any age. So if you look at your reflection and see stains, I encourage you to see them differently from today forward. See them not as flaws, but as guides. See them not as marks of aging, but as signals pointing to where the body needs gentleness and balance. This perspective changes everything, because when you stop fighting your body as if it were the enemy, you begin working with it, and when you work with it, change happens in ways that last. Now that we understand how stains are messages, not flaws, let us move to our final step together. It is time to bring all of these lessons into one closing vision. A reminder that small daily changes are powerful enough to protect independence, memory, and life itself. Stay with me for the conclusion, where I will leave you with one clear action that can begin reshaping your health today. We have traveled together through an understanding of oral health that reaches far beyond the surface. We began by uncovering the silent causes of decline, harsh mouthwashes, overbrushing, and the dryness that comes with age. These were not failures of discipline, but habits and changes that were quietly working against the body. We then turned to solutions that restore rather than strip away. Oil pulling, turmeric paste, and aloe vera showed us that gentleness often heals more deeply than force. These practices are not new, they are ancient, and they remain because they work. They remind us that healing is not about fighting the body, but about nourishing it. From there, we looked at how food and morning choices set the rhythm for oral health each day. Acidic breakfasts weakened enamel and fueled bacteria, while warm water, fermented vegetables, and miso soup supported saliva, digestion, and balance. We saw clearly that oral health is whole body health, inseparable from energy, memory, and independence. Finally, we reframed stains not as flaws to be hidden, but as signals to be understood. Yellow, gray, or brown marks are not only cosmetic, they are the body's way of speaking to us, and when the deeper imbalance is corrected, the stains fade naturally, leaving behind not only a brighter smile but a healthier body. So now the message is clear. Harsh routines accelerate decline. Gentle habits restore balance. The mouth is not a separate world. It is the front door to the body, the place where health begins and where decline often announces itself first. If we listen carefully, it guides us toward the changes we need most. I want to leave you with one line to carry forward. A healthy smile is not the goal. It is the sign your body is thriving. Do not chase brightness or fight decay with chemicals. Instead, choose one gentle habit this week, whether it is oil pulling, shifting breakfast, or hydrating first thing in the morning, and see how your body responds. Tell us in the comments which change you will try first, or what has already made a difference for you. We read every word, and your story may be the encouragement another person needs. The journey to health is never about perfection. It is about small, steady choices that over time protect independence, memory, and vitality. Begin with one step today and know that it matters.